In the quiet chill of dawn, the journey begins with humble bars of high-carbon steel, waiting for the touch of a master to awaken their hidden potential. Damascus steel is a marriage of opposites, where hard and soft layers are stacked with precision, creating a foundation for strength and unparalleled artistic beauty. The spark of creation is ignited, calling forth the ancient power of fire to transform cold, rigid metal into something fluid, malleable, and full of life. Temporary welds secure the stack, ensuring every layer remains perfectly aligned before the intense heat of the forge begins the deep process of molecular bonding. Heat is the catalyst for change, rising steadily as the forge breathes air, preparing to reach the extreme temperatures necessary for a successful forge weld. As the steel enters the flame, will we witness the birth of a legend, where Damascus becomes the ultimate intersection of raw power and refined artistic expression. Reaching a staggering 2300 degrees, the steel begins to glow with an inner light, signaling that the atoms are ready to merge into one. With a quick motion, the white-hot metal is brought to the anvil, casting a fierce radiance that illuminates the entire workshop in a golden hue. Flux is applied to the surface, melting into a protective liquid shield that prevents oxidation and ensures a clean, unbreakable bond between every individual layer. Under the immense pressure of the hydraulic press, the separate layers are forced together, beginning the critical phase of forge welding where two becomes one. The mechanical power of the shop mimics the tectonic forces of nature, squeezing the hot metal until the boundaries between the different steel types completely vanish. Now, the first manual hammer strikes full, us vibrating through the shop as the smith refines the shape and solidifies the bond with every heavy, rhythmic blow. To grow the layers, the cooled billet must be sliced open, revealing the solid core that will soon be folded back upon itself to multiply. This is the dance of multiplication, folding the metal over and over, doubling the complexity and strength of the blade with every single cycle performed. Back into the fire it goes, reheating the mass to a welding temperature, continuing the endless cycle of heat, pressure, and folding that defines this craft. The power hammer echoes like a heartbeat through the walls, its heavy strikes drawing out the steel and refining the grain structure with every thunderous impact. After just 5 folds, 32 layers are born, creating a microscopic landscape of alternating hardness that will eventually become a beautiful and functional work of art. 10 folds later, we have achieved over 1,000 layers of hand-forged steel, a complex matrix of metal that is as tough as it is exquisite. The billet is now a single, unified piece of high-performance steel, ready to be transformed from a simple bar into the elegant silhouette of a knife. With careful, precise movements, the smith begins to forge the tip, tapering the steel with light hammer blows to create the fundamental geometry of the blade. Each strike is intentional, moving the hot metal with the grace of a sculptor, thinning the edges while maintaining the structural integrity of the overall spine. The tang is drawn out, forming the backbone that will eventually sit inside the handle, ensuring the knife is perfectly balanced and built for a lifetime. Alignment is everything, and the smith's expert eye searches for the slightest imperfection or curve, correcting it while the steel is still soft and forgiving. As the steel cools slightly to a dull red, the smith uses lighter taps to refine the delicate transitions, bringing the soul of the knife to life. Every hammer blow is a commitment to durability and performance, a silent promise that this tool will withstand the test of time and heavy, demanding use. Even as the heat fades, the work continues with files and precision tools, preparing the forged shape for the final, grueling stages of its long transformation. The forging is complete, and the rough blade now holds the ghost of its final form, waiting for the fire to give it the ultimate strength. We enter the most critical stage, the heat treatment, where the blade is brought back to a precise cherry red to reorganize its internal molecular structure. Focus is absolute, as the window for a perfect quench is mere seconds long, requiring a steady hand and a deep understanding of the steel's behavior. In an instant, the blade is plunged into oil, triggering a violent reaction as the heat is ripped away, locking the carbon into a diamond-hard state. The intense hissing sound fills the air, marking the boundary where the metal transcends its soft state to become a weapon of extreme hardness and resilience. As the smoke clears, the steel has changed, now possessing the incredible hardness required to hold a razor-sharp edge through the toughest of cutting tasks. The quench was successful, and the steel now rings with a clear, high-pitched tone, signaling its readiness to be ground into a final, lethal perfection. The grinding process begins, stripping away the dark scale to reveal the clean, bright steel beneath, as the smith meticulously shapes the final cutting geometry. Each pass across the abrasive belt must be perfectly controlled, removing metal in thin layers to ensure the blade is balanced and aesthetically flawless from every angle. Now comes the magic. As the blade is submerged in an acid bath, an etching process that will finally reveal the hidden patterns within the steel. The acid eats away at the layers at different rates, exposing the intricate, flowing lines that have been forged into the very heart of the metal. The reveal is breathtaking, a unique fingerprint of the fire, and the hammer that can never be replicated, making this blade a true one-of-a-kind masterpiece. These patterns are the visual history of the thousands of hammer blows and folds, a testament to the weeks of labor invested into a single blade. Nature meets craftsmanship as the blade is married to a handle of stabilized wood, selected for its beauty and its ability to withstand any environment. Brass pins are driven home, locking the handle to the steel in an unbreakable bond that ensures the knife feels like a natural extension of the hand. The final edge is honed by hand on traditional stones, transitioning the steel from a beautiful object into a functional tool of incredible cutting precision. The test of true quality is in the cut, as the razor-sharp Damascus edge glides through paper with no resistance, proving its incredible performance and keenness. A soft tomato falls before the blade, showing that this is not just a work of art, but a professional-grade tool capable of the most delicate tasks. Behold the completed masterpiece, a legendary blade born of fire and steel, carrying the echoes of ancient traditions into the hands of a modern-day warrior.